Good morning, Jeff Light here with our daily look behind the news from the UT Newsroom. This morning we're speaking with sports editor Jay Posner. Jay, the Padres trading again.
Correct.
And, well, give me the details and your take on this, which seem pretty positive, actually.
Well, the Padres are in the position now, as we've written many times, where they're acquiring assets for the future. As I also mentioned, at some point...
Is the future ever going to come?
Right, the future has to come one of these days. This player they acquired today, Roberto Mejia, is a catcher. They already have a catcher, which we'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
But they traded Brad Hand, who's been their all-star closer the last 2 years.
I do like that at least they waited till after the All-Star game.
Right. Manny Machado also, the Orioles waited so these guys could be in the game. Especially someone like, both guys got traded to other leagues, so they wouldn't have been able to play. They also traded Adam Cimber, who was a rookie who had done well this season. But they don't really have a need. Winning and losing, it sounds so silly, but winning and losing a couple extra games this year isn't a big deal. The idea is they're building towards something a couple years from now. Mejia is a 22-year-old catcher. If they could combine him with Austin Hedges, they would have the greatest catcher probably ever. Hedges is great defensively, has not been able to hit. Mejia apparently is not as good defensively, much better hitter. We haven't heard from the Padres yet. A.J. Preller is supposed to speak a little later today, exactly what their plans are. The word now is they're going to use Mejia as a catcher. What that means for Hedges, we don't know.
Maybe another deal in the offing.
Exactly. There's always... Teams always need catchers. The Padres have another minor league catcher who's supposed to be pretty good. But this is all part of their big plan to build for a couple of years from now. Taking assets, a guy like Brad Hand was plucked off the waiver wire. Adam Cimber was a guy who had never been in the big leagues. Taking two assets, turning them into a younger, cheaper asset, and then building this super prospect team for 2020 maybe?
Yeah, so before we got in front of the camera here, you heard me, in my pretty uninformed way, beginning to express a little doubt, like, man, is this really working? But you gave me some pretty interesting information.
Well, I think it's working in the sense of they are acquiring young players that people who judge this stuff for a living are very high on. Mejia, ESPN's Keith Law just came out this morning with his top 50 minor league prospects. Fernando Tatis of the Padres is number 1. He was acquired in a trade similar to this. Number 5 is Roberto Mejia. Number 6 is Mackenzie Gore, who was the Padres' number 1 draft pick a year ago. And they have 3 more guys in the top 50, a couple of international signings, including Luis Urias, a second baseman who we should see up here shortly. Chris Paddock, who is a minor league pitcher now with San Antonio, same kind of deal. Fernando Rodney was here. They traded Fernando Rodney for Chris Paddock. People very high on him. They also have the number 51 prospect, so I guess technically they have 7 of the top 51. So gathering a lot of prospects, but as we've said, at some point, prospects have to win in San Diego. And, I think that's still a couple years away.
Wow, super interesting. Okay, I think that's it for now because we've got to go see what the team actually has to say.
Right, and we'll have much more on this around lunchtime. People will be able to check for an updated story, and we'll have obviously much more as the day goes on. And we also have our top 20 Union-Tribune minor league Padre prospects coming today, which now, as Jeff Sanders said, I guess I got to go do some updating.
I guess so. Okay, well done. With that, jump on the comment string if you've got something to say about the Padres trade. We'll see you back here tomorrow.